Hi, I'm Cliff Jones. If you're new to my channel, I am a six-time author, a longtime small business owner. I focus on branding, storytelling, and empowering other creators and seekers and small business owners to crack through all the barriers we face to building small businesses, different forms of income, earned income, not necessarily passive. And if you've ever struggled to start a business or do something new, I'm going to walk you through all the things I did in the last several months to start a passion business, a photography business. Now, I'm in my early 60s, for those of you who don't know me, and I've built several businesses, and I've been coaching hundreds of other business owners for years. That's my main way of living. And last year, I thought, man, maybe I'm loving photography. Maybe I should invest in some new gear. And I came across some YouTube videos, Peter Hurley in particular, big shout out to Peter Hurley, about how he was crushing it doing headshots. And I'm thinking, I love photography. I have since 1977. Maybe I'll start a business around photography and monetize it. So I jumped in. And here's what I did through the various phases. I'll drop this in the link if it helps you so you have access to it. But I'm going to walk you through this really quickly because in the end, it took about 10 to 14 weeks to, to feel grounded. I got two client projects. I got them in the first 60 days by buying leads. But phase one was my foundation. I was going to brand a new name, change my LLC or start a new one. I decided to stick with my personal brand, and that means I transformed, rebuilt a new website from consultant, strategic advisor, coach, business guy to photographer, which was a big pivot for me. I had a lot of head trash over that. I built this finally on Squarespace. But it took me about the first week to get the website up and running and the messaging dialed in. And along this time, I was thinking about researching and adding new gear. So I did invest in new gear, even though the gear I have had for many years would have been sufficient. What wouldn't have been sufficient as an event photographer or headshot photographer was not having a backup system. So I needed redundancies, I needed better lights, and you can see here some of the things I purchased. Some of them I returned, but it required learning new software, building a website, writing all the copy, naming the stuff, which is one of my creative gifts. That's what I do. And you have creative gifts, and that's what I'm encouraging everybody who watches my channel to do, to figure out what those creative gifts are, regardless of where you are in life, and then go for it. Go for it, following a process, finding mentors, and breaking through all the resistance we all face constantly in order to be successful. Success defined as the continual progress towards what would be an ideal goal for you, something you want. And in order to know what you want, you got to know who you are, and that takes time. So by week 3, I've got the branding up and running. Branding is identity. Self-identity is your personal brand. My personal brand around photography was help you reveal yourself in the best light. Photography is all about light. I don't know, kind of cheesy, but that's the best I had. I put it out there. I got a couple deals, and I learned doing the photography work is really hard. So if you love photography and you haven't made a business out of it yet, just know you're going to meet resistance making a business out of a hobby. I've been a hobby photographer my whole life, painter. I've made a lot of money writing and coaching and consulting over many decades, several decades, and photography is new. I wasn't sure how to price it. I wasn't sure if I was good enough. Didn't have a portfolio, had to do a lot of free stuff. And the good thing is I love it enough to do it for free. I had fun, I learned, and I broke through all the barriers to learning new things and changing. I figured out some pricing. I charged $250 for one headshot, which is a little below where I wanted to be, but it was a good thing for the client. It worked out for me, and I charged $1,000 for one corporate event I shot towards the end of the second month. Again, I bought that lead. It cost me a few $100. I gave $500 to the video guys who were buddies of mine. They did a great job. I kept $500, paid the fees, like the merchant and credit card fees through Stripe, which was 4%, and I made a few bucks. More importantly, I learned. I learned how hard it is to be a photographer. I learned how I kind of took for granted what I make coaching, guiding, teaching people, small business owners, how to grow. I took it for granted, and I lost sight of that. I have to do basically like 7 times the amount of photography work at the photography pricing I established, which is in line with the market, in order to make a comparable living to coaching, teaching, writing. So that's a huge reveal after only a few months of work building the photography business. So, given that, the challenges, what I encourage you to think about are, is this passion of yours worthy of building a business? Are you ready to work through, grind through, invest in, buy what you need beyond what is free, because a lot is free, to get started, reaching a market, conveying your value, doing what you do most passionately, bringing in the money, delivering the service, getting the reviews, the social proof as we call it, so you can make a reasonable living. Because none of this is about becoming a billionaire or the next super wealthy influencer. I'm a middle class, average guy sitting in my little home office in my 1,400 square foot house with Subarus in the garage. And the wealth is being able to do what you want when you want. Creative freedom, time freedom, financial freedom defined as you live within your means. Because a wealthy person is somebody who lives within their means and they have few wants, meaning they're happy with what they have. And that's how to get fired up every day. That's why I'm pretty much fired up every day. Yeah, I take my hits, I get bummed out, but I'm a little ahead of most of you in this school called life. I'm in my early 60s, and that's why I hack out these videos and get out of my comfort zone and invest in the new technologies. Like I recently upgraded to Loom today. That's how I'm shooting this video. You see here my Google document, which is from Google's Workspace. That's $12-15 a month. So it costs time, money, energy to create anything of value. And that's what we have to do to monetize. We have to create things of value from our passion and understand we're going to meet resistance. So that's it. If this helped you, great. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a little love with a like. Add a comment, a constructive comment question, and I'll do my best to respond. Thanks very much for watching. I am Clifford